I gotta unmute me and you because I ain't got no. I didn't do it. Oh, there we go. There we go. They tapping in. What's up, family? What's up, family? H. Bragg in the building. Good evening. Good evening. Carson Newbar. Good evening. Tapping in from Saginaw, but we say Sag Nasty. You heard? Wanda Smith, the lovely Wanda Smith. Meat Freaks Barbecue is in the building. Cassandra Scott, how you doing, beloved? The lovely Deborah Luna, you heard? And we got what's up, Yogi G from the 202. What it do, Yogi G? What it do? We got Cicero in the building. We got El the Golden Child Sharp. How you doing? And Javier Ellis, the Midwest Dragon. We got Sydney Green. I had to do the switch up tonight. Switch up. Anna said she was gonna tap in with me. Winters had to take care of some stuff tonight. Family business. Family come first. We got the lovely Denise in here from Georgia. Andre Holland, how you doing, beloved? Bonnie Vanner, thank you for tapping in. We got the lovely JoJo Freeman in the building. Kenneth, thank you for tapping in. Terry Nixon is in the building. How you doing? Family, we here. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna do some little switch of Maru, but this is Anna from Just a Thought.
How y'all doing this evening? Boy, Mickey, y'all be having the thing bumping. I know it's
Mhm.
the nightly nip, but
Facts.
tonight is gonna be nightly nip and with just a thought mixed
No,
together.
no, no, no. We don't care about all this. Nightly nip. Nightly nip. What's up, Kobe Fatty, aka Elizabeth P. Finney? I ain't going. We wouldn't let you leave anyway, supporting from Philly. Nah, Anna, do your thing. We're gonna do some things. We're gonna try to do a collab, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you be trying to be bossy. You be trying to be a little bossy.
I be trying to be factual, Mickey, just facts. A lot of us speak, but I don't. You know, let me just say this: at all times, just because I say something, don't believe what I say. And I tell everybody that because we get in the habit of believing what people say just because we like them. And so
Mm,
what I'm going to ask that everyone does is that when we get on media and we listen to people talk, remember 90% of the media is owned by billionaires. So people are going to push their narrative.
facts.
And I'm really really big for independent podcasts,
Media. Oh, okay, got
which
you.
is not a new thing, but it's something that we truly need. But I just want to say challenge, challenge, and challenge everything you hear. Don't allow people to speak unless they're saying allegedly or in my opinion or my view. And those are my guidelines that I always go by because we get caught up on really, we want to express how we really feel.
Hmm.
Sometimes with the race situation, it's like how do I say how I really feel without offending another race or another group? And in
Hmm.
reality, we're at a point, I don't know about you, Mickey, but I feel we're at a point where people are remember when Cat Williams said last year, we are in the time of truth. And that's what he said for 2024. In the beginning of the year, he opened it up.
Hmm.
He said it is the year of truth. But I feel this year is the year of exposure. And so what we're seeing is exposure all around. But I also see people painting the narrative to make sure they get their dollars. And as we know, in Flint, we got some people in government that are making sure they're keeping them dollars coming in, just like we got in DC.
Facts, facts. Let me
Go ahead,
shout
Mickey.
out.
Then
I got you. I'm just gonna
want
shout
people
out people
getting in.
coming in. Like Chris Caleb tapped in. Chris, nah, his council is next week. It'll be next Wednesday. Miss Karaja Smith, thank you for tapping in. Felicia Martinez, thank you for tapping in, beloved. And the lovely Deborah Luna. Let me see. DJ, nope, no council tonight. Thank you for tapping in. Sexy Chocolate, Latrice Green in the building. Thank you for tapping in. You heard? No, no counsel tonight. No counsel. No, you know what? I'm kind of there where you at, but you know how my feelings on it because you seen like a little clip video I was giving you that I want to get, and like you said, because the reason I was bringing that up, it was something with Megan Kelly. Like right now, a lot of people don't know that we finna be censored. and this is what was the lovely Eartha Logan tapped in, and one half of the Wonder Twins, Debbie Clark. Thank you, beloveds, for tapping in. And it's like I think we in the censor stage, and because from what I was hearing, like I don't know how true it is, so I'm gonna go with allegedly. And it was said today, like I guess Trump, I guess from him, they were scraping from the FBI files or whatever. They're saying the high right was more into assassinations than the left. You know what I'm saying? They was taking that down. I don't know how true. I'm just saying allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So, but I get what you're saying with the rhetoric, and it is kind of hard. But who is it hard for? Granny G, thank you for tapping in. Who is it hard for? Cash Williams, thank you for tapping in. When you saying like, I get it when people say they don't want to be called racist on their views or if you putting down. But if to me it's like this. If it sounds like a duck and it walks like a duck, it just is a duck. Because I get it like you say when you getting into this thing, because with me, I'm trying to figure out, like I say, what is the big difference from you know what I'm saying, what the right want, different from what the left want. What did we getting ready to damn their head to a civil war? Like I told you, I've been watching a little rhetoric that's been being said from the actor James Wood. You know when that tragedy happened to the young fella that happened out there in Utah. Up here to this tragedy up here, and you got both sides. Where was he a conservative or was he a liberal? And it's like, this is where we at, Miss Odie. Thank you for tapping in, beloved. And it's
But
like, go ahead.
but Mickey, just a real quick thought on that.
Uh-huh.
When did we get to the point where we call people left or right? Because the last time I checked, most of us are in the middle. We don't always agree with the far left or the far right. And if people were to even take an assessment on where they're at, you would see people that thought they were far left might be closer to the right or might be the opposite. I think we're in a time, Mickey, that morals are being lied to us, what morals are, just like they're using religion. They're telling you that that God is on their side of evil. And right is right and wrong is wrong. And this is just another way I feel how society hides race. And so we're just going to say that everyone on the left is for Palestine. Everyone on the left is for LGBTQ. Everyone on the left is for immigration. And then everyone on the right is racist. Everyone on the right is taking. Everyone on the right is ignorant. Everyone on the right. I mean, if you like, these are stereotypes that are put. But the reality is that now I might have my opinion of the right or person on the right, or you might have your opinion on the person on the left. But I feel like we got to get to a real conversation that when we speak, that we are speaking facts. So it's not about left or right. It's about facts, because there's things that different groups have done. And the last time I checked, Mickey, when we talk about race, it ain't no they're Democrat, they're Republican, because that's not how we describe us. That's not how you describe me. By the party that some people don't even vote, only for every 4 years, and some people don't even vote at all. So to put us DEI or black and brown people to say we're all Democrats, that's not true. Or to say that all Latino men are all Republican, and that's not true either. Or even to say that all black men are Dems. So I guess what I'm saying, Mickey, and just my thought, being factual, we all had different beliefs, but I feel it's a time for us to speak truth. So when we're telling a story or we're saying something that's going on, just be factual. Don't let someone go listen to you and they can pull up the receipts. So, I know we in this media thing where selling lies makes money. Like they say, selling sex makes money. But I guess the new thing is sell somebody some bullshit.
Facts. Hold that thought 1 second.
Okay.
I got to do my nightly nips. What it's sponsored by. This coming from the lovely Felicia Martinez from New Jersey. That's that New Jersey love. She says Mickey's nightly nip is sponsored by the city of Flint for among the nation's top 5 poorest cities. With all the money that came into Flint, there should be no homeless street, should be paved in gold. Hey, beloved, you own something right there. You heard Shotty Shire. Thank you for tapping in. Common sense. What's up, cousin? And this intelligent brother here, is this what we doing? Say you speaking facts, sister. Say you speaking facts, Honor. They saying you coming with fire tonight.
I
She
just, I listen, and let me just be clear. I
Go ahead.
listen to I listen to everyone,
Mhm,
and I don't come to cause division.
mhm.
I don't come to give you a lie. That's just me. Now, you might think it's a lie because you ever see when you were telling a story, Mickey, there's your story, my story, and then in the middle there's the truth. So
Yeah, and
everyone's
that's a fact.
perception might be different. That's what's going on. Um, but I'm just saying, as society now, we have to get to a point where we need to start pumping independent podcasts, and which log on to 810 News Media Group and get the raw truth. Whether you like the person's opinion, whether they're saying something, and if anyone on here says anything that's not factual, throw your receipts. We can have a respectful conversation going back and forth. We don't need to
Right.
make people feel like they don't want to speak in front of others because of differences. I don't agree with everything everyone says. Um,
Right.
but we just have to love and respect each other. I do know some conversations are hard. And so, like for me, we in DC, the government shutdown. I know a lot of people will debate me on that, but the reality is we're dealing with it right here in the nation's capital and everywhere else. It's just when you live in DC, you get to see things in real time, Mickey. That's the difference. We get to see all the bullshit in real time where other people don't see. Like, I was talking to a friend, um, and I think she lives in like Missouri.
Hmm.
I was telling her of all the ICE raids, and I was telling her about our youth being detained, our youth being like they're pulling up on them, checking on them, and they're like, "Man, I saw that on TikTok, and I saw that on this. I don't. Is it? It's really not that big on it." And I said, "Let me just say this: I'm not gonna sit here and pump nothing up just to pump it because it's nothing. What do I get out of pumping something that's negative and sad? I don't know about you, but I don't want to pump my city and make it negative unless something is really happening. Just like when we talk about Flint. I don't think anyone's coming on here talking about Flint just to be talking about Flint. I don't think 810 started talking about Flint just to be talking about Flint. So real things happen,
Right.
and people got ghost, and people memory lapse, and people forgot. Now I'll tell you, this week we had an event, Mickey, and it was with the DC Water.
Mhm.
And according to the DC Water, and when our issue with lead and everything went bad, we were the first ones to have the water issue, which was in 2004. The difference is that when you're in a city like the nation's capital, people, we got help right away. They fixed. We're still not 100%, but we're getting the things that we need.
Hmm.
I was at an event, and the lady, she was an environmental lawyer, and I raised my hand to ask questions, but before they didn't pick me, she brought up Flint, Michigan. And she said, "I'm going to give you a fact. Do you know that Flint, Michigan is still not fixed?" And this is a white woman attorney who was there representing. She travels about environmental justice, about water, and she brought up Flint. And my tears started to come down my face because I'm glad that there's people that are still on the ground, still telling other people in different areas. And I don't know about Mickey, this is what I'm saying with podcasting. A
Hmm.
lot of people think because they don't see it, it's not happening. Don't repeat people's talking points, repeat facts.
No, I agree with you. Let me just get these Dog Chain and Cabana. Thank you for tapping in. Sweet cupcake on break. Tasha Lynn, Marcia A. Tarver, thank you, beloveds, and Mark Hudson, good brother. Thank you for tapping in. Tapping in. My bad. Sorry about that. No, I agree with what you're saying because I want to go back to like what you said. Not all black men, but majority of the blacks vote Democrat. You might have like maybe 5, 7% who don't vote, but 90% of the time, 90 then to 97% blacks gonna vote Democrats. Now I don't know, as far as Hispanics, how Latino, how they vote and go, but 90% because we've been here. and this is what all we knew. You know what I'm saying? This is what you be brought up, but at one time we was voting Republican. You know what I'm saying? But you got a lot, and then you got to understand how they doing us here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Mr. Classic. Thank you for tapping in, Sally Belly. Asaya Quill, aka Mama Quill, you never late. Thank you for tapping in. But see, with us, and we get stuck on that Democratic, and then I do agree with it, the Democratic plantation. Cause just think about it. The Democrats didn't have both houses. And I know a lot of time I get, people want to say, but it is on the record, on the books. Let me not say the record, the books, every 25 years they ratify for blacks can keep voting. Why was that why is that a problem to just write it in? You don't have to keep doing this every 25 years. It if it ain't true, take it off the books. If it ain't no big issue, take it off the books. You know what I'm saying? And I think and I do believe they have our communities engaged in, far as getting into it, far as the black and brown. They want stuff like that. Cause like when we was talking about and I ain't trying to flip over, but hop to here. Um, I'm looking at fires with the Medicaid fire. Why is it's such a big issue? This is my thing. I get it when people say you come in right the immigrant, fires immigrants or whatever, they want to cut people off Medicaid. But my thing is this: when they talking about cutting the brown people, immigrants coming, however they want to say undocumented. I'm just saying. But why is they gonna cut off blacks too? Gonna get caught up in that cut? People that's what I'm saying. See, they never make that clear. Like, okay, we want to go at this, but to me, it's like it's a way to be like, well, we can go ahead and cut them off too, because it's like, to me, it's just like they want to cut it. To me, they just blame the poor for everything, because you never hear nothing about corporate welfare. Carolyn Hendricks, thank you for tapping in.
You never will hear about corporate welfare. Number one corporate welfare person is Elon Musk. You look at all of the grants, all of the money that the federal
Right.
government pays him. And then he turns around and he's supposed to be efficiency. And he's literally racking up money. The only time that this man ever got mad and turned on Trump, somewhat, because he's still with Trump, was only because Trump didn't write something for him on his big beautiful bill. Because at the end of the day, everyone wants to make money, and that's the real fight. It's the billionaires who want to continue to have their status. But I said earlier, Mickey, why is it as a poor man do we debate for a rich man? I don't understand that. As a poor man, that we debate each other for a rich man to continue to gain, while we're sitting here ignoring the fact. I like the fact, I would say this, Mickey, I like the fact that you said undocumented. When people call people illegal,
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, it irritates the mess out of me. Because if that's the case, then the only people that are not illegal would just be Black Americans. And some of my people, because some of my people were slaves. But for someone to call someone an illegal, then that means that you call every white person in this country and every other race illegal because they came onto this land and massacred people, stole their resources and massacred them. So they were illegal when they came in, and then they changed the laws. So I don't even like the word illegal, because if we're going to call people illegal, then we need to call the original illegals. And we're about to come up on that holiday. I'm glad we call Indigenous Day now, and no longer do I say Christopher Columbus Day. So if we're going to speak about people being illegal, then let's go back into the 1600s, into the 1400s. Those are the original illegals. And they still have rights until today because we did not have guns.
Mm-hmm.
Until today, we still don't have guns. These people collect guns. Why? Why do we collect guns? Is it civil unrest? Is it because the South is going to rise again? Is that what's really going on? Because we want to take over, because we're tired. But then going back to what you just said, Mickey, if I could get two poor working class together, because the middle class wasn't back then.
Facts.
That was only created. I fact check me. That was created probably when I was born, or a little bit before that.
Say around
I'm born in '76. It might be in the '60s.
Maybe the
I'm
50s.
'76. Probably in the '60s is when you started to see, because I don't. You see, like states like the.
Yeah, because I was born in '85.
You weren't born in no damn '85. We are '76 all the way live.
You a hater, and I'm just messing with you.
Oh man, I love being a Gen X, but
me too.
I'm not speaking.
Gen Z though.
I'm allegedly speaking. I believe it was really like the '60s, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of our rights we got. So you look at the right 1965 Act, 1968 Acts.
Right.
Those are the years I feel that we, Black and brown people, were able to move into the middle class. And so you got our parents who own homes. Look at Michigan. If you look at the South, the Great Migration.
Yeah, from
after war with the GI Bill, with VA loan, that's when middle class was created. Mark, what year was that? Is that the 50s? Is that the 50s or the 60s? I can't remember World War II.
Good evening to everybody that's tapping in. Grace and peace. Is this what we doing? Mark Hutchinson, Doug Chan and Cabana. If I'm missing anybody, Miss Odie.
1945. So that would be 1945 would have been the silent generation, were the people, but the baby boomers were the ones 1946. And my mother was a baby boomer. They were the ones that were buying homes. They were the ones, when you look at the Great Migration coming from the South, and they were moving up to Michigan and to Detroit. That's when I feel we became middle class. Now, I know that probably middle class for the whites might have started earlier. Fact check me. I'm just saying, I know that I personally feel that what we've been told, that baby boomers, the reason why they call them boomers, they created children, of course. They were the most married, the most producing of children, but they also were homeowners. And if you look at today, we don't own shit.
I mean, because we lost everything, It was a different sense of pride back then. Because you got to think, blacks was coming from really slavery, like on Jim Crow. So you got to think the ones that's coming from the South, you was able to come up here to work, and you was able to get a house. But you got to think, when they came to Flint, blacks had certain areas they could live in, like it was called the St. John's area here. You know what I'm saying? Then what was it, the 64 Voting Act, where you could, as far as the housing, and then that's when you had here, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but help me out. Is this what we doing? Because I know you from here. I think it was 64. I'm not for sure. 65. Lanita Murray, thank you for tapping in. So when blacks was able to move, but you got Grand Blanc, you got Flushing, you got Swartz Creek, you had the White Flight. It was no different when you go to Compton. When the blacks was able to move in, you had White Flight. You know what I'm saying? So they created they you know what I'm saying, they cities around where they once was at, and then you see them start, like, I don't know, maybe was it like that in New Jersey? Is that like that in DC? Was it certain areas blacks could live in, then they started letting them move in? You know what I'm saying? I'm not for sure, but like I said, I was told the stories on how they was St. John's area.
But I think all of us around the same time, predominantly black and brown cities, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was the 80s and the 90s when the drug pandemic came and started to break us down.
Yeah, it was. It was the crack epidemic was in
yes. The 80s. So yes. So what I remember when I was a kid growing up, my neighborhood was predominantly white when I was growing up, and then when I got to a certain age, it turned into most of us were black and brown community, and that was in the North. I grew up in New Jersey, and I know that that's probably Michigan too. Let me ask you this: in Flint, Michigan, or Detroit, or even Lansing,
67. Is this what we're doing? Yeah, 1967, Floyd McCree open housing for Flint before the federal law. Thanks, is this what we doing? I know he up on it. Intelligent brother. What's up, cousin?
I just know that when the communities changed to predominantly where we were more either predominantly black or predominantly Hispanic communities, we were making money at that time. Most people were like my dad. My dad literally was a auto mechanic, and my stepfather was a
Yeah,
diesel mechanic with a trucking business.
yeah,
So
but
we
just
were
look.
hands on.
No, but just look at the pay was compared to now when they was in General Motors to now. That's what I was saying. When you got people that was making 20 and 30, making then at $30, that was just on the line.
But Mickey, imagine back then someone making $60,000, $70,000, and your
Yeah.
house, you can get a house for like $20,000, $30,000. Like you can't even find a house in DC under six.
Shit, that's what I'm saying in Flint. Look how they doing it here. You see, you've been here. You see,
Yes,
it's like you want to break, you want to raise it up, but the pay scale ain't went up, but the cost of living has went up. And but it goes back to what did Lyndon Johnson say? If I'm not mistaken, I had a white man study empty the poor one study. I might not be saying it verbatim. Was it Lyndon? Was it LBJ? What up, Jeff Johnson? What up, Linda? Everybody that's tapping in. Let me see. Who did I miss? Who did I miss? It just came. I thank
Gerald
y'all
Ford was
for
the
their
president
support.
when we were born.
Nah, I was talking about he made Jeff Johnson. What it do, good brother? He said, "Big, I'm finally back from. Hey man, safe.
They done
Glad you
gave you
made
the
it back
nickname
safe
Otis.
travel."
They done gave you the nickname Otis.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. It's like bought my first house for 15K on land contract, no
Wow.
banking wall. That's what's up. No, but I want to say it was an LBJ that said I can have the poorest white man keep emptying his pocket
I
as
think
long
it
as he
was
think he got
LBJ.
more. I'm not saying it verbatim, but I'm saying it was something
Yeah,
like that. That's why
I
when
think
you
it
were
was
saying
LBJ.
like how can poor people be arguing for rich people? That is why. Because you would sit up here, they had the masses. That's what I'm saying. You go look at the 1% that really control America. Thank you, Mama Quill. Thank you for that. That's what I'm saying. I thought it was no, it wasn't no council tonight. KP is next week. It'll be next week at 5.
He said no sugar.
No sugar tonight. She had to take care of some business, family, and Anna stepping in for me to. I ain't have to be on here by myself. You heard? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's when to answer your question. That's why LBJ said this was that about 60 some years ago, 70 some years ago.
I know
He
Gerald Ford was our president.
no, I'm just saying
We
no,
were
but
born.
but
Yeah, but
no,
I think it is LBJ.
yeah, no, it was because they said yes, it was the chat saying it was LBJ. That's what I'm saying. Like you can go back in history as that's why it's good to go back. History is your best teacher. Because I was talking to a brother. You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all. Fuck it, family. I'll be real with y'all. Y'all know I was mad at Brother Roberts when he was sitting down. When I seen him on the pictures with the school board members and everything, man, the brother had a real conversation. So you know what I'm saying, and that's what you supposed to do. You supposed to have conversations when you have disagreements. And me and the brother talked for about an hour or something on the phone a day. Might have been a couple hours. He coming back on because he's gonna straighten some things out. That for questions for the chat if y'all want to know what he been doing and what he ain't been doing. But I was talking to the brother today, and he like me and him, he was just like, dude, this is nothing new with America. What you see and said, history repeats itself. He because what happened in Grand Blanc about the church situation, what went down. He said, but didn't nobody know? He said, did you know it was 18 black churches that got set on fire last year? I didn't know that. That's why I love to sit when me and him do be talking because he give me a history lesson. Hey, you know what, Felicia? She's she a sports mom, so I gotta give her the pass she need. Family come first. Her daughters, you know what I'm saying? They have activities. You got one in driver's training and one. Hey, facts. This is what we doing. That's why me and Elliot to be on tomorrow, but we can get off into these conversations. And I want you on one of the panels too, Anna. When we because I'm trying to do some things, set some stuff up for people. We can get more in deeper on what's really going on because people just think what you saying is Flint. Oh my God! Well, y'all like you get to see the devil
We
in
on the open stage, Mickey. But
and
I
that,
always have to say this, Mickey.
go
When
ahead.
I'm talking, it's not out of hate for white people.
Mm-hmm.
It's out of truth. It is not for hate because reality is
Right.
that if you look at how I believe,
Uh-huh.
we started in Africa. So we started from a black woman. So I'll just let you know that when I'm speaking, I'm always going to speak from that stance. That does not mean I'm taking from any white person. But the reality, truth is truth, and history is history. And if we don't pass that information down, like you just said, we will repeat ourselves. But Mickey, you said earlier, why is it that they keep saying it's left that's doing all the killings? But you just said something that a lot of people don't talk about. And why don't they put it on the media? Because if I control the media, 90% of the media, and I want to make sure that the agenda is always that we keep them distracted at all times, all we have to do is put a situation with a race, and they will all argue with each other, and that's all they will focus on. Why they're changing laws, why they're moving things that affect all of us. Black, brown, poor, and middle class whites are affected by it too.
Facts.
So in my conversation, it is not about black and brown. It's about all of us. But I'm always going to be factual when it comes to, try to be factual when it comes to history. I can't sit here and sit in a chair on lies, because like my shirt, Mickey's shirt says, I'm jumping off the plane. Eventually, I'm jumping off the plane. Because I'm tired of this ride that I've been on in DC since Agent Orange been on.
But you evil. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I get what you saying. See, a lot of people, we look at from afar, like, in the go back to what you just talk about, saying y'all sick of seeing how the military fires, how y'all basically martial law, whether they want to say it or not. How your kids, see, when it don't happen, when it's not happening to them people, like this Flint, like how you was hearing Flint fatigue, and you say keep it in, because on the fires, well, I'm gonna say national media, fires, the mainstream media in your cities, you got your mayors, you got your governors, you got your senators. They will have that shit shut down, because let's be honest, who really owning these radio stations, these TV stations? It's billionaires. When they gonna pay? Channel 12 not gonna come out here and say nothing. The water bad, the water not fixed. My friend, like I said, I be over my friend's house all the time in the Fifth Ward. If y'all probably think y'all know him now, because I say boom. That water is filthy over there. Like it, you know what I'm saying? He drank bottled, like I drink bottled water. Like you can't convince nobody here. But when you got the media not putting it out, but see, we not bought and paid for over here. We is funded from the chat. I'm not gonna lie, I do love the people who do support us, and that's what help us. And shout out to my sister Renee Jackson. People that support us to keep it going. But just think, if we got some money from, let's just say, one of the people who run in Flint here, you think I'd be able to come on? We'd be able to talk about the mayor. We're able to talk about the governor, or talk about what the state rep not doing, talk about how they getting these nonprofits, and you know what I'm saying? They would be like, you see what's going on when they pay you, you would be paid to be quiet. And that's why you see a lot of blacks can't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but it's on the national level too. Just look at Hakeem Jeffries. You got these people know this water not fixed here. You advocating for us down there in DC. Like you just said earlier, how you was crying when the lady you said was talking to you. But like, you know what I'm saying? But they playing chess here. You know what I'm saying? You got Gretchen Whitmer. She can go on any she can go on the Breakfast Club. You think that's black. But they got bosses. You know what I'm saying? It's only so much they can say. That's why and I understand what Dame Dash was going through. They want
right out of my mouth, Dame Dash, when I saw that.
That's my guy. I love Dame from how because I feel we got the same type of mentality. but what I'm saying, they went and fact checked Dame Dash, but they didn't do that for Ben Shapiro. You know what I'm saying? It's like they want to pick and choose on who they want to make a fool out of. You know what I'm saying?
Mickey, they are targeting. They're not worried about Gen X. The millennials, they skipped over the millennials.
Nah, in that
they are going after the Gen Zs.
Yeah, they at the Zs now.
The Gen Zs are, I think they're under 30.
Yeah, to about they were saying?
2009. So both my daughters are Gen Zs. That is the generation. Just my daughter didn't go to school today. So yesterday, what you did not hear in the news, Morgan State had a bomb threat. Morgan State University, HBCU, had a bomb threat. And they didn't even tell the kids all to get off the campus. They just took the kids out the library. My daughter, of course, you get a message My daughter did not go to school today because she was like, I'm not going on campus, Mom. I'm happy that, next week I start my baby got an internship with the Reginald Lewis Museum, which is an African American Black History Museum in Baltimore. And it's about Maryland history and Reginald Lewis and anything to do with Baltimore and Maryland. And I'm excited for that because she gets to like be in the space. She wants to be a curator, but she did not want to go to school today. And then today, someone literally came up on campus and robbed and stabbed someone. So, our youth are being targeted on campuses. I know you saw that this week, Mickey, where these two conservative guys.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I was just like, yeah, they was doing with that Charlie. Yeah, I'm gonna send you that video too with Jimmy Dore and talking about you. Right.
They were trying to get on the campuses to push the narrative. And so if you ever want to get people to fight each other, you go to one race, but you don't put them together. And so you challenge them and say that this race is taken from you. And the reality is, if you really want to be factual, a lot of people had HB1 visas in the farms, right? They had those visas, they're working visas. They come and get them. They work here. They work for hardly nothing. And then they're taxed, right? They get no medical. Medical's not included. Now, do you have clinics? Yes, those are federal grants where people could go in and get service. But the reality is there is no, I worked for the Department of Human Services in D.C. You cannot get no Medicaid, no Medicare if you're an undocumented person. That is the most biggest lie. So then you'll get somebody, okay, you can't prove it, right? So then the person will say, well, they go to the hospital. Okay, so then what about the $2 billion that they pay in taxes that they don't get to receive back? You'll have a non-working person who's on disability and will sit there and argue with someone who's working and say, you don't have a right to be here. And I'm sitting myself like, actually, it's actually good that they're working because those tax dollars are going to make sure we still have money for Social Security. We still might have some money for disability. So I don't understand when I see the far right making this argument about people working. You benefit off of that if you're on food stamps, if you're in housing. Look at Kentucky, is one of the poorest states. That doesn't mean everyone in the state is poor.
I know what you're saying.
You look at Alabama, you look at Florida. The northern part of Florida has a lot of people on disability that are poor. But the thing about Florida is you don't pay state taxes. So if you get a little bit of money, you get that check come in, that big check, when you suing for whatever happened to you, you can go down there and buy a piece of land. But for me, I wouldn't feel comfortable living in that part of Florida. I ain't got time for no lynching. Lynching is still happening. If somebody tell you it's not, that's a damn lie. You saw the boy going back to HBCUs. Did you see that in the news?
But did you see? Yeah, it was two. It was in both of them was in Mississippi.
Yep.
But did you see what the police said in the coroner said that you need you see the family had to do it, give it independent because they saying it was suicide. And allegedly, I don't know how true it is, but they were saying both his arms was broke. You know what I'm saying? This was the stuff they were saying. I'm just like, but I mean, do you understand? For they can just say, you know what I'm saying? And then look how they had to close 7. Well, you know about that. 7 HBCUs, and that had nothing to do with blacks.
I know y'all see the guy on Charleston White. Oh, somebody wrote someone. Mickey.
Yeah, this for you right here.
Okay, Mickey Nana, what do you think about that school superintendent? He used to work in D.C. I've actually met him before. Being arrested by ICE last week, getting deported. He actually was cleared from the IRS. He actually was cleared to work. It's propaganda. That's what it is. They took him. It's propaganda. He used to work in D.C., Mickey. And now he's over there in Iowa. It's unfortunate. It's wrong what happened to him. And since we're talking about this today, I wasn't going to talk about that because I'll talk a little bit because I really want Yogi G to because we have 2 different lenses when I saw something and we really want to talk about it. So today, I was at the store And we were at the store, and we was like, okay, well, Yogi G's son is getting out of school a little bit earlier, so we went and picked him up because he goes to school half a day. And so we're leaving from the store, and we're having a good old time. We pick up the two kids, and we're literally going down. We're literally going to the shopping center, and I look to the right, and I see these three kids sitting. And I tell Yogi G, I said, what is going on? Why? This is why DC needs transportation for these kids. Look at these kids. They're sitting out here with no adult, and they look like babies. I just made that comment within, Mickey, when I say within like 20 seconds, I'm driving down the hill because I'm making right because, the babies want some Mickey D's. So I'm going down the hill, and I hear the kids scream. So, I'm like, I just said kids need to wear, because there's no adult right there. When I hook the right, I park my car and I jump out of my car because I heard the baby screaming. At the same time I hear the baby screaming, they're detaining a Black woman. Not no Latina woman, not no Hispanic woman, not no Palestinian looking person with the sign up. Yeah, I'm being funny. All of the stereotypes of who they're taking. A Black American woman. She's literally coming down the hill, and the kids are coming down, and they're screaming and they're crying. MPD grabs her, which is the Metropolitan Police Department in DC. Mickey, when MPD grabs this lady, in 2 seconds, ICE, HSI, FBI, and I forgot the other officer, yank this young Black girl. And when I say they holding her, I posted it on my TikTok. They're holding her, and they're not letting her go. And all she's saying is, what did I do? Mickey, all she was doing was walking down to find out that she is literally the aunt of those kids. And she was getting the kids. She might have been across the street because there is an apartment building right there. But Mickey, she was detained. More to come. I'll find out what happened, try to figure out. In DC, when you're detained, they don't just put you in no jail around. They take you to Chantilly, Virginia, which is like an hour away to an hour and a half. And it's only men. They're mostly grabbing men because men, they don't have a lot of women detention centers. So when they grab the men, they put them in the Chantilly Enforcement Center. And they go into this room. Some of them complain of no food, nothing, and they're not verified. So that means that they snatch you and you're a U.S. Citizen. It does not matter because it takes about 2 weeks for them to process whether you are or not. So you're just getting kidnapped. At this point, we're getting kidnapped. And the people that are taking us aren't even real enforcement officers. They're contractors. So they don't even know the law of the land. So when you see all these people like, oh, I want law and order, I want all of these things, but you're allowing people that are mediocre to be in these positions. But today I witnessed a young Black girl get detained.
No, look, we have to be honest though. What communities is they going after? See, we got to be
honest.
Well,
you look at SCOTUS. SCOTUS said you can go at anyone who is of color, anyone they think does not make money, or anyone that language. And so you got Jamaicans, you got Panamanians, you got in this area we got Haitians, we got Africans in this area, and then we have Latinos. So anyone of color, if you have an accent, and you got Dominicans. Some Dominicans look Black American.
Yeah.
So to tell you the truth, if Dominicans look Black American and you're just walking, they could think they could think that you might be an undocumented person. My thing is, why are we waiting to question what they are? I feel like if the mayor said that MPD would not be involved, then why is MPD even touching these people?
But this the point that I want. But that's what I'm saying. Look what community I'm looking at was shooting the shit T. This my fellow 7th Ward, and she said they will definitely go after us. That's why he wants to send troops to predominantly Black cities. But this the thing I want to say. Is they coming like that for the Ukrainians? Is they coming like that for the, for people who not look like us? Is they just coming for the more of the melanated people? That's my question.
And I will say this. I've talked to Ukrainian people
Mm-hmm.
through work and stuff. They have fear too. So I'm not going to sit here and say that white undocumented people aren't fearful either, because there is some that have been detained. They're just, their numbers are not as huge as us. So I'm not going to sit here and paint the picture that it's just us. There is some that have been detained, but the reason why a lot of them been detained, it's not like us, we're getting snatched. It's
Right.
because they left the country to go visit family,
Mm-hmm.
and they couldn't get back in because that paper wasn't right.
Mm.
So there's a little difference. But I've met people, mothers. The reality is, if we want to talk about who got services and who didn't get services,
Mm-hmm.
and we talk about some little measly, oh, they got $3,000. Tell me, because I tell me where they got $3,000 at, because you can't even prove it. So when we speak these facts and say people got money, now I will tell you, with this federal shutdown, do you know that federal workers get no pay, Mickey? Do you know they can't even get unemployment because they're still hired? In order for you to get unemployment, and every state is different. I'm talking about, we're not even a state. We're the District of Columbia, right? Because like in New Jersey, if you get unemployment, you pay into your unemployment. But in DC, your employer pays for your unemployment. You don't pay for it. Your employer pays for your unemployment. But federal workers, so I'm going to make this clear, they will work without pay. Some of them get all their money back, but not federal contractors. So these people are not getting paid. And let's be honest, in DC, most of our federal workers that are being hurt by this are Black women. So cut the crap that we need to make the government short, because most Black women, the most highly educated women here on this earth, were the ones that couldn't get into corporate America, who get corporate welfare. But most Black women are teachers and work for government agencies and are the most brightest. They're the ones that have been targeted since Agent Orange has taken over. And right now, when you hear in the news, when he's talking about, oh, now that it's shut down, remember, they got the House. Remember, they got the Senate. Remember, they even got the judiciary. And they got the presidency.
Fine.
I am a registered Republican. I'm not no Trump supporter, and I am not a Trumpican. There's a difference between old school Republicans versus, and people can fight me on this, but the reality is I'm probably more of an independent, because I don't think I voted for a Republican president in years, because I haven't seen none that impress me. Now, do I like our religious rights? Yeah, I'm pro for our religious rights, but I'm not right, Mickey, for our tax dollars paying for the weapons to kill Palestinian people. Are you for that?
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm saying, are we for that? Like,
I mean,
make America great again, right? But we sending money to kill kids. We giving all this war money. We making all this money to kill people. But you mad because let's be honest, the Republicans shut down. And you can fight me on this.
Is
the
this what we're doing?
Republicans shut down the government.
No, I got the dates up for you.
The government.
It's on the screen. I got it on the screen for you.
Yeah, they shut down the government. And the reality is, what you
84. It says from 1980 to 1981.
Even 1995, I think 2017 or 18.
1984, the government was shut down under Republican. Nothing new here.
But this time, it's people want to make it so lame. Oh, it's a disagreement. That's the only thing I feel that we still have some stance on. I have friends that, because of Trump getting in office, they retired early, not because they wanted to. That's because it's either go through hell in there or catch hell, be treated differently. Go ahead, put your retirement, but you're on admin leave because you can't retire until December 31st. So there's still people that have put the process to retire instead of getting fired. And those people aren't even getting paid.
But it would make sense. Just look what just went down. And don't get me wrong. Like I said, I didn't watch Jimmy Kimmel's show. He did a lot of fringe things that when it was getting pulled up, far as he was with, what was that one comedian, Alicia Silver something. She was in blackface when he was dating her, at the time. People was pulling up. But Jimmy Kimmel, they brought him back, but that was just to show you, but how they didn't think Trump wasn't going to get in. He wasn't going to go back at the Democrats for how they came at him. This is what I don't get.
Yeah.
Y'all went at him and didn't think it was gonna be no retribution was coming back.
I think they were just trying to scare him because Mickey, what they did to Joy Reid, what they did to a lot of them, taking them out, is crazy.
But
I mean,
but
Jimmy Kimmel went out. People stopped their Disney. I'm sorry, but Abbott Elementary comes out
yeah,
today. Watch
yeah.
Abbott Elementary. I'm sorry, I had to give that out because it's on Hulu, um, and that's a great show. But Jimmy Kimmel, is not the ideal person that we should have had really forcefully pooled our money for.
But look
Now,
at the game he played. I mean, that they played, brought Public Enemy on. I was playing with the psyche of the blacks saying fight the power.
oh
Because
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But see, that's when I look back, I was like, this how they gonna play in our face. And you know what I'm saying? Then you get there and it's like we over there fighting for him. I'm like, listen, Jimmy Kimmel probably was making then at 10 million a year. You know what I'm saying? When he came back, but what it was, they didn't want to stand up. He was not saying what he said. He was repeating what
facts.
yeah,
Because you see how he was crying and
yeah,
apologizing right away.
yeah,
I was like, man, this ain't even real. I'm sorry, in my opinion, I didn't feel that was. I felt like he
yeah.
was told he had to apologize.
No, I get it, but it's like I was just reading some. I was
Oh,
seeing what shooting the shit T
you
said.
know, I can't see.
She said in 2013, Trump said a government shutdown was the president's lack of leadership and was a sign of weakness. His words, not hers. And I'm looking at what my cousin Maria Carter said. She said, I don't see a lot of those military folks coming back. The draft will come in handy. He needs the military to progress the project 2025. But see, this the thing what throws me off, even with that, cuz the Democrats ain't put nothing in place. It was no, you know what I'm saying, none things that could be done. But see, because a lot of people don't want to admit this. Some of that rhetoric, I mean, a lot of that rhetoric, Trump, because you be watching CNN, I'll be watching the one with Chris Jennings being on there. I forget, it's the Black Girl show. I can't
Mickey, I
think of her
haven't watched. You
name.
talking about Abigail?
Abigail, yeah, she was on there, but it was a YouTuber on there. This was, a white
Oh, you talking
YouTuber.
about the young white boy?
Yeah, man, he took Scott Jennings' ass to school. When he said,
Yeah.
I'm just a YouTuber, and he was using the stuff Trump said. He
You'll
said,
hold me more accountable than you will hold the
yeah.
man.
And don't get me wrong, Scott Jennings be taking their asses to school too on some stuff. He be handling them, Abigail, them one. But the thing was, he took Scott Jennings, and they don't want to look at the rhetoric that the president put out here. But see, the sad thing is, people don't want to believe it's a big contingent that believe that the rhetoric that Trump is putting out there. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people who believe that, and they don't want to admit that. That's like even that, like with regardless what people want to say. I'm not dissing nobody, but if you really want, they want to say, "Oh, it was sound bites." Some of the stuff that CK was saying it was some racist rhetoric, and you can't even say
It
nothing.
wasn't some. It was all. It was set up by design.
Facts,
He
but
was paid.
and
They
right,
found him. They said we
facts,
got to get to this generation. How we gonna get it?
right,
Because they love to debate. They love to get up there. And the way you get it, you get a 30-year-old or under 40-year-old, and you start putting all these Reddit. They get on Reddit. They get on all these sites, and they
right,
start researching. They start.
right.
And the problem is, Mickey,
Mm-hmm,
is that kids have stopped socializing to each other. And I
mm-hmm,
feel what's happening because our babies are so like this.
mm-hmm,
They have locked themselves in basements and rooms. They're in games, and this
mm-hmm.
stuff is speaking to them.
No, that's what they get it from. Just
Nope.
like you know what I'm saying. I was having not to cut you off, I was having having conversations with different people, even from the gym, and just out in the streets. When don't get me wrong, these were white people I was talking to, and I they cool with me, but I like to see where
Yeah.
they coming from. When I had some tell me, not one, I had three of them told me that with Charlie Kirk, I want to with Charlie Kirk, what he said that it was more blacks kill whites. I'm like, are you serious?
If we're only
But then
13%
when they
of
went to
the
pull it
population,
up,
how are we? If you're only 13% of the population, how are you the most that killed?
and I said, if that was really, don't you know what they would be doing? But see, this is some of the rhetoric that got put out there, and people. Because don't get me wrong, what's that one comedian? What's his name? He's a white fella, but he be going more at he appeal more to blacks. You know
You
what I'm
talk
saying? He was
about
married to a black woman, but they divorced now. But he came out and was a big supporter. He was like he believed 80% of what Charlie Kirk was saying. And I was watching Tim Blackman on his head from since he said that, and it was like, well, you gotta celebrate. We
You're
can't.
not talking about Gary
Gary
Owen.
Owen. Gary Owen. Yep. Gary. Thank you,
For
Marquez.
real?
Right. He was like, he believed 80% is what Charlie Kirk was saying, but Gary Owen going through his own thing. Him and his wife separated. Not separated, got a divorce, and she black. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was like when he did come up here saying if the black pilot, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff that rhetoric that he was saying, but it's people who like to hear that. You know what I'm saying? It's a crowd that do believe that. You know what I'm saying? They got a crowd to say where the immigrants, not to say undocumented, they taking your jobs. But they not saying that, but you ain't hollering at the corporations. You're not hollering at these people that's coming over here, like you say, that want them to do these, take these work for $2 and $3. See, but they not gonna say that. But it's easy to say, these people taking your job. But even look at the lie they say here, blacks. I remember Fox News was doing this shit all in the late 90s and 2000, whenever they started. Hannity and Combs when they was together, Sean Hannity and the one dude Combs, when he was like, it was more blacks on welfare. And I'm like, this the type of stuff they put out here. But then when you go back, like, how's we on more welfare? We only like 30% of the population. But see, they're not gonna talk about, you're not gonna hear about, you know what I'm saying, they areas that is more, it's more whites on welfare. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna say that. They gotta come out and say it'll be, it's the blacks tearing the country down. You know what I'm saying? They gotta have a boogeyman. And if you watch it, they always find something to have a boogeyman. Even though they, you know what I'm saying? Just look at school shootings.
What is it? Fidel Castro was a boogie now. Gaddafi was a boogeyman.
Remember, they call him the mad dog of the East.
They create the boogeyman once they work with them. What is it? I heard. I don't know if this is true. Y'all can fact check me. I heard that Hamas was created by Israel.
They go back and pull it up. Like I say, man, when we gonna get off into that. We're gonna get it when you go look.
We'll do that another day, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
those are things like you talking about. You created a boogeyman.
Yeah,
they create the boogeyman.
Yeah, I got it. That's why I got to get. And when you look at why the border was packed, what about them countries that you went over and destabilized? They forgetting about Venezuela. Yep. How many times did they try to? They didn't kidnap. Like I said, they forgot. Man, look, they catching hell. But what did you hear the president say? Oh, it's oil over there. It's business. That's just like somebody come over here, take our president out, and put somebody in power and start rolling. This the type of like.
And Mickey, even the island that my family's from, Puerto Rico, right?
Uh-huh.
We have sugarcane, we have coffee, we have a lot of good things on our soil, right? But with all of the colonization, and actually Obama was the one that messed us over. I'm just going to be honest with you. And the reason why he messed us over is because he brought this tax-free for wealthy to come and buy up. And one of the things in Puerto Rico is that the beaches are free to the people there. And so with these colonizers, and I'm sorry, I got to call them colonizers, because they got this tax break. And I knew why Obama was doing it, because it was to raise more revenue, because Puerto Rico was about to be bankrupt. But what happened, these colonizers started building along the beaches. So it made hard for the residents of Puerto Rico to be able to go in to the beaches. Mm-hmm. And you see that in other countries, they do that. Even in Jamaica, the Chinese man has bought up area covering the beaches. Mm-hmm. This is happening everywhere. But where I'm getting to this is when Puerto Ricans produce farming, right? Because remember we were talking about farming. Some people are paid not to farm, and that's a fact. You can look it up.
Yeah.
But when you farm in Puerto Rico and you are about to sell, do you know that we cannot ship our stuff to other countries? It has to go to Florida. It has to go to the United States because we're a territory. So the goods then go to Florida, and then it can go to the other country. Mm-hmm. So what do you think is happening? Are we directly getting more money into the island? So some of us want to be a state, and some of us are fine, like Virginia's Commonwealth, like Hawaii is a state.
Oh, it's okay.
But like Virgin Islands, like these are islands that U.S. territory. But what irritates me the most is I don't think people really see that the story is resources. So, and this is just a thought. I'm not saying this is true, Mickey. Mm-hmm. But if I know that in 2040 that my race will be small. We will no longer be in America, because not in the world. There's actually more black people in the world than there is any other race. But if in America, there's more right now Caucasians. But if I knew that my self-preservation and I am breaking down, in order for me to continue, wouldn't it make sense for me to start taking people, men? So if you see the numbers of how many brown men have been taken out, because you know who produces a lot of kids? Brown people.
Didn't know that.
They have a lot of kids. Their population is so huge.
Yeah,
So if I wanted to take people out to not create more children, these are just thoughts. This is conspiracy. Doesn't mean it's true. I'm just going by what I'm seeing.
And this ain't Conspiracy Tuesday neither.
No, it's not Conspiracy Tuesday. But if we take an abundance of black and brown men, they can't produce more children. And then we have Mexico, who Trump has said before he wants to go to war with because of the resources. Wouldn't I want to get rid of the brown and the black people? So when the war starts, they won't turn on him.
If you go look and you look at in the inner cities, like the hood, I mean, you know, with the black and brown community, you have more abortion clinics there. And then when you go to the more well-to-do places, communities, you have fertility clinics there.
Mickey, we're guinea pigs. They put all kind of pills up in us when we get sick.
Facts, and I had to go yesterday. And I'm upset now. I'm on my antibiotics for ear infection. Let me tell you, believe me, I fought it out, but I couldn't. I had to give in. I was out, even though I was doing the shows, but my equilibrium was too off. I didn't know what was going on. But but I'm saying, you remember Pat Buchanan?
Yeah.
Remember his? I know you do. Yeah, he was on MSNBC. I've been watching the news for a long time. I got it from my fathers, my uncles.
I got that from a kid. I used to sit in front of the TV.
Yeah, I couldn't stand it.
But we grew up with the TV being the main thing that you watched.
Yeah, but I wasn't savvy until I started getting woke on certain things, what to look for. But if you go look at Pat Buchanan when he wrote that book, Death to the West, he said by 2030 or 2040, America would be majority of color. So you have to understand. 2040. Yeah, okay, but that's when he wrote a book on that. You know what I'm saying? So he wrote a book when he was saying that. And you have people in that mind, like, why you think when they be saying, if they see, because we have to just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what it say? Let me see. This said, this from my brother Mark Hutchinson. Rich people go to the gynecologist, Mickey, not the clinic. The rates are the same. Don't let them fool you. Okay, my bad. But I'm just saying, but when you see them, the abortion clinics are in, really in where the black community and brown community is at.
And just because people were fighting for pro-life doesn't mean it was for pro-black and brown children to be born. Because why are we pro-life, and then when a child is born, can't no one take care of the child? It's an issue.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Me and Brother Roberts was talking about that today. He was like, they be pro-life, but look how they do the kid. But see, you have to look. See, what I like Brother Roberts, because he go back into history with it. See, we be looking at a lot of this trauma is coming from what we was brought in for. People got to understand, we only been free for how long? You was only able to vote. For how long you been voting? People act like we've been voting for damn near 100 fucking years. You know what I'm saying? So when you looking at, and it goes back to this. Why do you think, and you know what I'm saying, and I be saying this, why do you think they want to hold on to what they got? That's why you see Ice Cube catching hell. You know why they don't want to, they was giving them problems about the big three? Well, I'm going to let you in on my game. We got the NBA on locked. It's, 31 teams or 32 teams? Tell me who own all the teams and what's the makeup of their race. Hell, we can go to baseball. Who make it up? You think they gonna ever give it back? That's what I'm saying. Ice Cube, if they get that means you letting him in on these advertisement dollars. Let's even go back to what you seen Roland Martin and Byron Allen, what they was doing when they was fighting for getting advertisement dollars.
Well, what did Jay-Z say? Jay-Z said the NFL, especially the Super Bowl, is a global event. It's not just us in the United States. It's a global event. The world watches NFL.
Right.
Y'all need to
Hey,
watch Sunday football. I don't care. It's amazing.
I
I
mean,
know my team is going to win this year.
it's to each their own. But see, only thing, but see, but America show you what it is. Because remember when Colin Kaepernick took a knee? Remember the NFL said they
Yep.
didn't mix politics with sports.
Mickey, how does an amazing quarterback like that go down that fast? Like, that's how you know these people are paid to
No,
say, you take him back, we're going to cut. Like,
I'm just, but it show you what it is. If I run the game, this is my game. I can tell you what not to do. That's why when you look at it, and I do agree with Brother Roberts on certain aspects when he was saying, that we should boycott until you get better respect. But the thing is, like I was trying to tell him today, how you gonna get on respect when these people feed you and clothe you? What Donald Sterling said was true until you get true independence. Why you think after 5 years, these NFL players, these baseball players, these NBA players, let's just say the black predominantly sport, why you think they go broke? Even boxing. Why you think they go broke after they have to retire?
yep.
Because I've been giving you this. You ain't went out there and earned it. I ain't teaching you how to save money. I'm teaching you how to, you know what
But
I'm saying?
Mickey, don't they give artists, from what I always hear when you hear back and say, what's that show they used to put on TV and they'd be like, where they at today? And they would go back and the artists would talk about how they were poor. It's like they sign contracts to get money up front, right? So they get this money up front, they're able to buy their clothes, get some stuff for free. And then when it's time for the payout, they owe all that stuff that was given to them up front. I think it was TLC talked about it. A couple like SWV, like back in the 90s, a lot of those artists were really poor, but they were performing. Mickey, rappers were performing and they were poor.
Look how they was beating
They
them.
even wrecked the jewelry. This is, oh my God. Yo, MTV Cribs. You remember when we used to watch that?
Yeah, but look, good. What's up, my good brother Marcus Fielder coming in from Fairfield, California. I just got some disturbed. This how they playing with us. Hold on, let me show you some stuff right here. I just got this image. I'm gonna put this up on here. See, this is when they say they playing. This is what called playing in your face is. You see that right there, Anna?
What's that?
You see that?
Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, you see the water color of it, right?
Lord have mercy.
You see what color that is, right?
Horrible.
Yeah, this is the stuff that they tell us that the water is fixed when you got your mayor. See how they had to get that open. I'm just saying this is the stuff that we go through on a regular basis here that people be thinking.
And that's not, Mickey. That's something else because lead it's not color. That's something else in that darn water. I don't know what it is. I was asking why. This was a question, and they do it here too. Why is it when they say they'll check us water, they want to give us a kit, and then we got to take the kit to somewhere else? I don't understand that, because how do I know where you're at is really going to check it?
And that's on Marengo, just to let the people know. That's on Marengo and Aubrey. That's what I'm saying. This is when they play with you, but this is the stuff that we have to go through. But this government, but everybody want to act like everything is so fixed here. Everything is so fixed here. But that's what I'm saying, what we going through. You know what I'm saying? Predominantly black city, black mayor, majority black council, black state rep, black ENA board. You know what I'm saying? But this is what the people have to go through. This is what we going through here. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. But these people making money.
Mickey, what ward is this?
What ward is Aubrey and Marengo? I want to say, is that first, or is that Marengo? That's between either first or third? It's somewhere up in the first or third. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that should be the first ward or the third. Somewhere in between there. Family, if I'm wrong, can y'all get that for me together?
Well, you shot if it's either of those wards. Ain't no one gonna do nothing because you one council and Ward 3, please.
That's what I'm telling you. And I'm looking at this Shotty Shot. I said, I see why the Heritage Foundation implemented Project 2025 so they could stop America. Store 2030 to 24, 2030 to 2040. See, this is what we battling when don't nobody really want to say this, what it really is. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm like,
you want to talk about it's really about money and it's all about cost of living. It ain't about none of that. It's about white preservation. And I understand people want to preserved because some people feel that they have a right to be in control, but that doesn't mean all whites feel like that. So
No,
even
no,
when I say stuff like that, I
yeah,
always want to correct it because I don't want no one to think that my views or that white is wrong.
no. Listen, you see the lovely Gladys Williams, Debbie, and Diane, the
Deborah Luma
wonderful
on here.
Deborah. You see
I
these
met her in
people.
person.
No, them wonderful people. You see Stanley Wood. And
Yep.
Stanley Wood got black grandbabies. So
I
his
saw
fight
the
is a
picture.
whole nother fucking fight at is.
Yeah.
Let's don't act like, you know what I'm saying. He got, you know what I'm saying. This shit is so diabolical what's going on. And it's like, you know what I'm saying, for him to, people gotta forget you had John Brown that was fighting back in the day, if I'm not mistaken, who was back in the day fighting. I might be saying it wrong. But we need more of them that's gonna be on the side. See, what we battling against is people who got money. These billionaires, the 1% who really rolling this thing. Shantae Rollins, thank you for tapping in. The Shy is in the building. See, but when you get, and my thing, like me and Brother Roberts be talking while I be bringing up the boule, be saying it because these are a lot of people like, I got mines and I'm all right. See, a lot of these people not having
They
to
doing
take
self
fast.
preservation too. They want to make
Yeah,
sure their generations continue.
because a lot of these people not bathing in this bad water. And when
Yep.
you hear about like fires with the nonprofit, like I got some, that's why when I'm gonna bring the brother on Monday, like he got some stuff like the uncles, the concerned pastors got that 100 million, Melissa Mays, they weren't the only ones. Them the ones that people just putting out there. But there's other people who got some money, got some of that grant money that came in too. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, like I said. But and let's don't get it twisted. Administrations have to do what the people who run Flint say do. Cause them contracts still going out to them people that it's supposed to go out to. We might let a couple of your friends get some money. We'll let y'all do this and that. But see, that's the problem. And when you seeing your city going down and you seeing your people being poisoned, I done lost probably down there 5 or 6 family members from cancer,
Mm.
not knowing about the other deaths that came on. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, this is nothing. You ain't have no cancer like this. We got dialysis places all popping up over Flint now. People on dialysis, kidneys just blowing out. You know how much people would. I'm just saying, like this shit is crazy. Like what's going on, and then how long it's taking to get this money. Them people never had no intentions on paying these people. They was hoping these people die off, stalling them out so they can die off. And then you put a big difference is, okay, it's the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, everybody should have been paid. It should have been free medical for
Yeah.
all the residents. But see, but they don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we got this mind state like we shouldn't, we giving you free stuff, but you giving the ones at the top free stuff.
I know,
But we
Mickey,
on the
but right now
bottom.
with this shutdown, the main thing that they're holding out is the 75% increase of
On
our
what?
premiums of
Wow.
our prescriptions. That will affect me. And they're holding out. They already took a lot of people, seniors and youth already. But like this is like the last bit. But to sit here, like I know some people are skeptical of shots and stuff, but to tell people you cannot get a booster unless you're a certain age, like the government controlling on you getting something you might believe that you want to take. I don't believe in forcing anyone to take anything, but I don't believe that the government should control on medication either. These pharmaceutical companies, that's a whole nother conversation. But
Big
in
deal.
my opinion, what's going on now, Mickey, is that the middle class, which is me, I have 2 disabled daughters, and did I want the shutdown to happen? No, I did not want it to happen. But what I see where the Dems are fighting is to see, can they negotiate? That's the only thing they got that was created in the Constitution, that they will
Right.
not have that it would be one party, that it would be among 2. And so regardless of how we feel personally, we should never advocate to take away from people that have less than us. Because I feel if your argument is about others coming here and taking, and they shouldn't get help, it's just like me saying that Palestinian children shouldn't eat. There's no difference because we give weapons to another country. And so the conversation comes, round up people that are undocumented, get their information, and assist them to either the DACA kids, that's a whole different situation, but shut the borders. But the ones that got in, some of them came through refugee, some been here 20 and 30 years being pushed back. Some of them are your neighbors, some of them are your friends. And I felt like things were handled the wrong way and still handled the wrong way. All it is creating division, but all it is Project 2025 and Project Esther. And eventually read up Project Esther. You're going to learn a lot about Project Esther. That's what people are talking about.
Well, and not to cut you off, it's third ward now, but would be first ward.
Okay.
Come next year for the rezone. That's good, brother Rodney Thomas. Thank you for tapping in for that.
Yeah. It's hard when you see people been living in a community, paying taxes, working, that have been blessed to get a job, because there is people that do not have work. They are looking for work. But I feel like the moral thing, because we got into a point where it's all about me and not about you. And so we still need to practice helping each other. Because we have a lot of people over here role playing Christianity.
Oh man, listen, but see what it is, but this is not.
I knew what I said. Go ahead.
I'm going back to what my brother Robert said, what I say them was tragedies. Like I said, what that happened over there. But my thing is, when what that happened, why did 7 black colleges but get death threats? And why did the young brother, the hangings that happened down, why did that? Because to me, it's like I don't think we getting it, because a lot of these people, these so-called Bible thumpers, if y'all really paying attention to the signs, this stuff is being did in broad daylight for you can know what's going on. I'm not saying the hangings did, but for you to hang somebody, leave it there. This, like, to me, I go back to when was it Jack Johnson? When he became the heavyweight champion, was it 1911 or something, 1913, when he beat Jim Jeffries or whatever? Did you know that they went out and lynched blacks for him winning the heavyweight championship? And did you know it was within 20-some years for they let it be another black heavyweight, and that was
I didn't
Joe
know
Lewis. That. But because I'll be going back and doing some studying and stuff. Did you know, like I'm saying, just look at some of the things they pulled out on Puffy. That was the Mann Act that they had on Jack Johnson. See, they got some of these old racist laws still on the books that they'll pull out every blue moon. They'll pull them out in 2025 when they want to come after you. That is where I'm saying, like, when do we take the blinders off and see, listen, man, we still got some of these racist things on the books. Like I say, with justice is blind. It seems like when blacks come up in there, she lifting it up. Oh, this a ninja. You know what I'm saying? Because me and a white person commit the same crime. And I'll just give you a better example. Fuck it, we're not even going to go to that. And I'll go with Fox News. What was the one dude named Gunther would be on the 5, would be on Fox News. And that was a tragedy what happened on that train down in North Carolina on the bus when the black guy stabbed up the young lady on there. That was a tragedy. But they were saying he had mental illness. He was saying, that man said he didn't want to hear nothing about it. But then when this happened, when whites end up doing it, it's mental health. All of them was retracting when stuff was being said. It became mental health. But when this fella did it, it was not mental health.
Well, Mickey, let's even go back. It even deeper than that.
Yeah.
Whenever a tragedy happens, they always say if it's a black man, if it's a brown man, if it's a Muslim man. But in Michigan, when that guy shot up in that church, did they say a white man? What did they say? They ain't say a white man.
I don't know if they said, but from being in the streets, just the rumblings we found out.
They never said
on the news.
On the news.
But we did put it out though.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's set up by design. If it's a black man, they're gonna say right, a black man came up to black. Let's go back to the DC sniper. Okay, I was living in DC.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know who it was, and it was bothering them because the media was like, How do we describe them? We're going to say the Muslim men in a white van. That was the
It was
first thing.
bothering me too, because I was praying it wasn't a black person.
Look, every day I would go to work. If I had to pump my gas, let me tell you, so I was ducking down behind my car. And I was really scared. That was a
cold
scary
blooded.
time.
No,
I was literally, matter of fact, the gas station that I would pump my gas is where that Metro bus driver got killed. One of the ones that was killed. And I kept saying, gosh, thank God I wasn't there. But, heartfelt for those people at that time.
Hell yeah.
But the DC sniper, it wasn't until they found out, because they were shocked, right?
Yeah.
They were actually looking for a Hispanic or a Muslim man.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the degree, because they couldn't pin it down, because he was shooting anybody. It didn't matter what, you couldn't go off of poor, rich, middle class, white, brown, blue, whatever. He was just shooting and killing people in all different areas. He was in Montgomery County, he was in Virginia, he was all through DC. But what I'm saying is, when they found out he was a black man, let me tell you something, you couldn't get off the media for nothing. Now, when CK was killed, you know how many school shootings we had? They didn't even want to talk about that. But they wanted to talk about CK because they wanted to talk about this guy being a left. And I truly, honestly, I don't even think the guy that they're trying to put it on, correct me in the future, I don't know. But I don't believe that guy, Tyler Robinson, did the killing. I don't believe he did it. Because if y'all look at them text messages, that don't look like no Gen Z wrote those text messages. I'm just saying. No, but in Michigan, when that guy, because remember, what did that guy say in Iowa? That what was he, a senator, a governor, or who he was? The guy from Iowa. He said, "I just wanted to make sure it wasn't one of us." He said that out of his mouth.
Yeah,
I was saying that one of them. So now they got to paint the narrative. It ain't one of them because it's a far left.
I mean, but you know they was gonna do that because the rhetoric then got to me. It's just like even with Trump letting the January 6ers out. I'm knowing deep down if it was any black group that did that, history gonna show me what they would do to blacks. Look at the Black Panthers. Listen, they was waiting when the minister Carl Farrakhan did the Million Man March on DC. They wanted something to happen, for they could have showed their military power. That January 6th, I don't care what nobody say. You cannot tell me if you have Black Lives Matter. I'm just using them because they ain't gonna cause no threat around here. If you would have had Black Lives,
what do they call? What do they call January 6th?
Yeah, and he let them.
What's the word they call it? Oh my God! As much as I say it, Chris Cuomo on the news arguing with Mendy, saying that it wasn't a resurrection, whatever the word they. I mean, yes, they're gonna sit here saying it wasn't that because these people. It's just the rhetoric, how they want to paint.
No problem, Sherry.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's why I was on the phone. They didn't think we was live. I was like,
because I was gonna say what I was gonna say was, Mickey. I was gonna say I'll give my number if people want to call in because I saw Sherry wrote several times on there, and I was like, we were in talking point. So I don't know how long the delay is. But I know that literally
Insurrection. That's what it was called. Insurrection.
Yes, Insurrection. And we done went through a lot of subjects, but we're all getting back to the main thing is that facts are facts and people's opinions are like assholes. Everyone got one.
But that just show you the BS that's in it. And that's what I think the right don't see. They want us to believe. I mean, I think the right don't see that. They don't see the bullshit because they can point out what the Democrats did this. But what I'm saying is, if blacks would have stormed, did an insurrection, did that, even you hear people say, well, the police was letting them in. Well, their asses should have been arrested, but what they forgot, a police officer did get killed. They acting like didn't nobody get injured and get beat up there. They just want to act like, and then you went in, took over, you stormed up in there, was looking for this, and like I said, but to them, they didn't see nothing that's wrong. But like I said, the Democrats were going to try to make them do time. Trump got in and like, I'm letting them out because he basically I don't think people was paying attention to. Trump showed you he had an army. If he didn't have that army, that's the way I took it. He got an army. You know what I'm saying? For them to come, I'm just telling y'all, and I don't care if y'all say I'm lying, and I mean, prove me out to be a liar. If Black Lives Matter, if you had damn near, let's just say 7,000 blacks go storm the Capitol, you're gonna have 7,000 dead blacks. Ain't gonna be no back and forth. Oh, should we call the armed guard? What we doing this and that? The reason that happened, we could just go back to the South. When the South lost the war, there's nowhere in the world should have still been Confederate flags. Could have been. Should have still been. It shouldn't be no talking about General Lee, all them other. You lost, but only in that. It's only them. Stonewall Jackson. We can still, because you know why, they see them as their cousins. Them was family members, even though it was the North and the South. They were still family, because what did they get together on? They knew how, the Republicans and the Democrats, they knew how to get together on our asses. They came back and did Reconstruction. You know what I'm saying? They came back.
Why would let me ask
go
you.
back. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you this. I had went to an event at Howard University. I think I was probably like when I first moved to DC. I'm hitting October 15th. I hit 29 years in DC. And in 2026, I would officially been living in DC for 30 years.
That's what's up.
When I came, it was the anniversary of the Million Man March. They did some stuff talking about it. I literally was here when the Million Man March, but I didn't live here. So officially October 15th of 1996 is when I came. But what I'm getting to is, see, there I go with my senior movement. What I'm getting to is when, Mickey, I just lost my thought. Go ahead. I'll get it back. I'll get it.
Million Man March.
No, but I was getting to a part.
I'm just messing.
What?
I said you was about to lie. I'm just messing with you. No, and I'm with Sherry Allen, the beautiful Sherry Allen. She said if blacks stormed the Capitol, all of them would have been prosecuted or dead. Remember when the Black Panther Party did it? Didn't they change the laws on guns? So you can't tell me what they want to do. When you watch that clip on it, if you see what they want to do, that what I sent you, what I was playing earlier with Jimmy Dore.
Oh yeah.
You know they want to do stuff. They want to have drones. Like what? It shouldn't be no more high speed chases. The police shouldn't have to do it. We'll just have the drone that'll follow the car. What? This is the type of stuff that these billionaires.
Wasn't that what happened on the ocean? The drones were following that ship.
As you listen, and they talking about doing this. We're coming to a police state. Oh, no problem, Unc. You good? We coming to a police state. I'm gonna use that clip because I'm gonna have Brother Roberts when we go to breaking this down on Monday. You know, if we don't fall out. Just kidding. But I'm just saying. But when you see some of the stuff they doing, do you understand? They really want. I don't think America really understanding what's going on and who behind playing this game that y'all are finna be. I ain't gonna say y'all. Well, because I'm not in that BS. The games that they play, I'm not getting caught up in it. We headed to some terrible times. And I don't think people really understanding what's going on. You got the rich setting up deals that's not, well, you basically see they knocking out the middle class. It's going to be rich or poor. And I don't think people really I ain't going to say not all, but a lot is not really understanding. Like what's going on. They using the stuff for undocumented. Oh, they doing this. But when they go to cutting that Medicaid and all of this, they not just gonna cut for the undocumented. They finna cut for the poor on there too.
They gonna cut for everybody.
Yeah, they don't just cut this, they cut it for everybody. And I hope the Democrats stand on their business, fight for some finally. Facts. Right. I'm with you on this Concrete Jungle. He said that's why they were acting a fool now. When their statues and flags were taken down, they felt that their history was being erased. Now they're returning the favor in their minds. See, you know what I'm saying? It's like then they want to take out the slavery part in the schools. Remember, Ron DeSantis been fighting on that. They want why they want to erase what they done. That's what I don't get. Like that's a part of American history. Why do they always want to take that out? We don't talk about race. Only people who don't want to talk about race is racist people.
Yep.
Them the only people who want to talk about it because they don't want to say what it is. Because like I tell you, that shit killed me when I hear them say, Oh, anytime I hear people act like, oh, your kids do. What you mean? What the fuck you mean? Do my kids do homework? We are not like, but that's been right there. That's been put out there. Blacks don't want to do nothing. Oh, blacks on drugs. The black school. You go out there to Kersley, go out there to Flushing. If you don't think drugs prevalent in their schools, but see,
Yep.
they not gonna report that. They underreport theirs and overreport what's going on in the black and brown and the poor community. See, they can talk about the Flint schools. They ain't gonna want to talk about the racist stuff that they be having going on in all these other schools. All you gotta go is on Flint politics, a blotter on Facebook. When you be seeing when blacks do something, oh my God, you get to see how these whites really. Look, they be rough in them groups. I'm like, damn, do they see this as some racist? But then if some white do it, they have a different understanding. Then you would see the blacks be in there calling their ass out. Then it'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't have it both ways.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be saying, oh, Flint is a dump. But hell, what you mean it's a dump? You know what I'm saying? You don't have family living up in here. And I do agree when Winters be saying most of them people that work downtown don't even live in Flint. Look how crazy the school board is. And I want to say some of this for me and Brother Roberts. One of the school board members, kids don't even go to the Flint schools. What type of shit is that? They don't even have tool and die, auto mechanics, what do they call that far when you take cooking class? Used to home economics. They auto mechanics. They don't have none of that in the Flint schools, and they want the kids to come back to the school.
That's crazy.
But these are the type of people you have on your school board. These
Miguel,
are the type of people. What's up?
I'm gonna put this video up because
Put it
it's
on
exactly what we're talking on. Let me see if I do it the right way. I'm gonna try it. Rewind it back. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Program. I'm not saying we've built a lot of institutions, and those institutions have not been effective. The majority of millions of African youth in this country are dying mentally, dying spiritually, dying emotionally, dying academically. And you may have a program, Mr. Brown may have a program, but what we got to talk about is an American government that tracks millions of African people who don't go to your program, don't go to Brown's program. Millions of African people, not only here, but all around the world. And if we are not honest enough to say who are our friends, who are our enemies, to know what a friend is, to know what an enemy is, we will constantly be trying to get into people's parties, to shake our butts with them, to get them to like us. And that's not the question. The question is, what can we build amongst ourselves to secure ourselves from our enemies so that we will be able to survive into the future?
They did my sister wrong too. I remember because she was challenging Bill Clinton during that time. And that's what I'm saying, Cornel West. And I watch him now. But them brothers up there, that's that Boule class. See, they went at her because she was talking truth to power, but they was trying to keep with the integration, what's the name, the thing that was going on. They didn't want to call out the white power structure that she was calling out. And that sister caught hell. Sister Soldier.
What she said in there is exactly everything we've been talking about. And
Yeah,
you know how long ago she made that?
That was on the one on Donahue or something.
I think it was. I think it was.
I was watching all when Donahue was bringing the black song because they wasn't used to. They didn't want educated youth up on there. Like they want us, clownish behavior. They wanted people who are fools who come on there smiling. That's like when you go pull up one. What was my man name? He was when Muhammad Ali was on there. He was the singer. Ali was trying to tell him, and he didn't understand. He he didn't understand. Like, dude, we are. You know what I'm saying? They look at us as niggas. At the end of the day, that's why you can have a Harvey Weinstein. You didn't hear. You had Oprah come on there. Oh, he's my friend. But when R. Kelly something, oh, he's out. You see how she didn't see nothing wrong with Harvey, but she saw something was wrong with R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? You can, they didn't call out with what's my man name from Flint, the dude Terry Crews when he said grip Jimmy, not when Jim, it wasn't Jimi Hendrix, it was the other dude. Used to be Sly in the Family Stone. That's who it was, Maria Carter Sly. Go look when him and Ali was like, brother, we not finna argue up on national TV. They see us just two niggas. And he up there BS. Now I love everybody, but dude, it was places you couldn't even go to. But see, they forget that because they get their money like, oh, I'm riding around with him. I'm doing this. Just look what happened to Terrence Crawford. Walter Waite, I mean, just off of historic, they pulled him out, had him on gunpoint. But see, this is the stuff that they do. But see, what he then finally got, he got his nigga wake up call. The police harassed him. You know what I'm saying? We be thinking look at Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather was the top boxer. Why he didn't get no endorsement deals? Because they didn't understand that. Like the biggest problem is they do not want us to have generational wealth. They want to be able to.
I like what Kawana said. Can you see what Kawana said?
Yeah, I see it. Let me put it up here. She says they know it's wrong, but don't care. They don't want their kid and grandkids to know how evil and dirty they really are. But you know what they do know? They kids know because these are the great grandkids. These are the ones who in power now, doing the same thing. Come on now, they granddaddies done been gone for a minute, and we still having these problems. Project 2025, it might have came out of the mind that's in the grave, but that thing is rolling right now. This is their kids and grandkids pushing this agenda through. A lot of them is gone. Over yonder, like Granny them.
I think they got books that they save. They get rid of our books. I think they got a book that they share to each other. How to self-preserve.
You don't think they pushing this down? Why you think you have sundown towns? Why you think you have, let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Oprah Winfrey had money, but she couldn't move in that certain place over there in Malibu they didn't want her in.
She couldn't even get a purse without being accused.
And that was over in France.
Yep.
Was it the Gucci store?
Yeah.
Thank you for tapping in, LaWanna Terry in the building. See, they don't. Yeah, Sister Soldier was. Yeah, and they went at her because she was calling Bill Clinton out. But this is what they do when you talking. That's why it ain't hard for me to see who to go look at. When I be seeing up here, when I see these groups moving, if I see the government ain't really dealing with y'all, or people trying to shut y'all down, I know. Come on, I know you playing the game. Because when you really doing something that they feel like they getting on, you gonna be blackballed. You're going to be talked about. Your own going to come after you. Because you know what they're going to say? Oh, you riling stuff up. We got it good up this way. They ain't going to want you to rock the boat. Facts, Sherry Allen. She said, it's back to the minstrel entertainment for blacks and minstrel jobs for us. So they erase our truth that I established people because of us. And we keep going for it. Let me see what Marcia Tarbers. I love Sister Soldier. She kept it real. She moved to Dubai for her peace. That's good for her, but it speaks volume to the issues in the U.S. Facts.
It's still relevant. That
facts. And I'm saying, well, Kawana, whites have to be over somebody to feel great. We had our own Rosewood, Black Wall Street. They will destroy it. Ain't nothing new. It's on their own merits. I mean, but this is some stuff. This is some stuff that we going through. Let me see what Maria said. She said, I agree with. If they don't want us, why they don't allow us to separate and build our own? Why burn us down? Shit is diabolical. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Remember back.
That shirt that says diabolical, Mickey.
Oh, I got to get on it. I was working all day today. I'm getting some stuff in the background did. You know. I
still look. I still got the original jumping off the plane with Mickey.
Oh, facts.
I still got the original shirt. I got a lot of shirts. I think I bought like 10 shirts.
No, you know what? I've been trying to get some help. If I can get some help on the clothing side to get this thing going.
It's not easy because sometimes you don't make no money. But this shirt,
but to me,
this was one of my favorite. I remember when, and I got all monitor Mickey.
Yeah, but see, it's good, but it's good advertising to have out here. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'll be looking at. But I've been trying to get somebody that'll help.
This mug is, I keep it here when I'm on here. Because that was my thing, Mickey. I felt like anyone who would get on 810, I felt like they should either have a symbol behind them of 810. And not telling people what they need to do, but it's just like, I'm on 810 News Media's platform, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, my views are my views. They're not the views of 810 News Media Group. How are we going to get to this next level in these conversations that we're having? And so I need y'all to make sure I'm not stopping the conversation, but I need to make sure y'all hit like tonight. And if
Like,
subscribe, I need you to subscribe. And at any time you ever want to donate $1,
donate
$5,
$5,
$10, they
whatever.
always are in need to make sure that this keeps.
Always. And that's why I called Anna on to get the help to pull in for when the sister had things to do. You know, it's a group effort, family. But y'all gonna see Otis. No, but I agree with everything you say. But that's why we need to. But see, we not. I think in our community, we're not teaching, like, people don't understand business is warfare.
Yep.
And we don't know it. See, we thinking warfare is just, I'm gonna grab my gun, see you, we gonna pop at each other. No, business, you gotta know business. How you gonna create something? Say if you do want to separate, you know what I'm saying? Say they do give you a couple states. You know what I'm saying? If you if you don't know business, set up your own business, but they got it this way. They gotta keep us as consumers. If you stop us from being consumers, do you understand? Phil Knight will be out of business. But Jordan ain't thinking about, Phil Knight ain't ran up and down the court for nothing, but Phil Knight's kids gonna be generational wealth. You don't think Jordan should have started his own shoe company? Just look what happened to LeVar Ball. That's what they really want to quiet. When LeVar Ball came in, they don't like black fathers like that. Now you understand why they don't want them in the household. Why you think Deion's sons got problems? Because Deion know the game. It's when he said he wasn't speaking for his sons no more, they had to take on agents. You're never going to be bigger than the program. Oh, thank you, my cousin Rick. I said $20 for the cause for the people. Much love. Thank you, beloved. But that's what I'm saying. Until we get it together, man, we like, it's so many things that we need to do, that we can do better. That we can do better. You know what I'm saying? But until we wake up, we're gonna be in the same situation. You know, they got us drugged up, to be honest with you.
Mickey, they have us fighting each other in mass confusion. And if you remember the movie, The Book of Eli, he remembered the book and he traveled through the craziness, but he remembered the book until he got to a safe space to tell the story. And so, I'm 49. I don't know how long God will keep me on this earth. I'm not saying I'm old, but the reality is we have to. Oh, look at Barry Allen for 19.
With the 19.
Thank you,
beloved. We thank everybody that's contributed. All right, thank you. Thank you,
Mickey. We have to. Just like demonic forces want to self-preserve, we need to self-preserve too, and that is knowledge, wisdom. And so today I'm gonna call it Wisdom Wednesday.
Cool, I like it.
For tonight, Wisdom Wednesday, and it's always wisdom. Whether I'm on here, Wintis is on here, anyone that's on here, I believe that 810 puts the right people on. And biases will always happen. We will always have disagreements. But I'm happy that I'm at 810, going on 4 years now? 4 years, right? Yeah, about 4 years. And things take time. But Mickey, this is the time for independent media. This is the time to keep pushing the narrative. And this is the time that even if we disagree with one of our own, that we still continue to bonds in a relationship to get to a place where we can at least meet in the middle.
For sure.
That's where I'm at with this.
No, I agree with you. I'm with it. You know what? I want to thank the past, the future. The past, present, and future people who gave me opportunity to work with them. Everything not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Everything not gonna work. You're gonna try some things. It's just how life is. You know what I'm saying? And don't get it twisted. You know, I talk junk about Tanya every blue moon, but hey, Tanya put facts out on her show too. She come with them receipts. She's another place where you can go get. Man, it was more places where you can go get. I just think sometimes we have that crab in the bucket mentality, and I have been caught up myself. Because I get frustrated with things too. Like, you would think a lot of the podcasters could be on the same page. Like, we can agree to work on certain things. Like, we put our differences with even time put her to make sure the message is we trying to get the news out there about Flint. And
Yep.
and this stuff do tire you out. You know what I'm saying? When you sitting up here saying this, you know, and this people been in the fight longer than I have. Let me be honest with you. I just got in the fight, to be honest, but I've been in it since 2020. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? And when you see the things that's going on, it's like how you saying with DC, you got some people who think that's a real thing that was good,
Yep.
but let them do that to y'all areas and see how y'all act. Then you see how they tripped out with the mask thing. They showed up about the mask when they was talking about when they was doing the lockup. You're not locking us up.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When all that stuff was coming down, it just be like, damn, but we go for it. They don't go for it, but we go for it. But you know why we go for it? Because it's different rules. You break them rules, they do you different than how they might do, you know what I'm saying, our counterparts. And it's just a fact. Unless they fighting with us, because you see, they've been giving Miss Gladys hell.
Tuh. I haven't seen her in the chat in a while. Is she doing okay?
She was on here this morning.
Okay.
You know, she come on. Miss Gladys probably watching. She right now, you know. But knowing her, she probably calling checking on Winters. But nah, Winters doing motherly duties and you know what I'm saying. So you got to go ahead and
I wanna
go ahead.
No, go ahead. What I'm gonna do is keep talking. I'm gonna share
I was looking at what Marcia Tarver just wrote. She said, think about how many inventions were inventions were by black people that white people took credit for. Edison didn't invent the light bulb. Lewis Latimer did. His filament lasted longer but could not get it patented. I mean, what's up, Miss D in the building? Thank you for tapping in. And y'all hit that like button because the likes ain't matching the views. You heard? I didn't understand what I learned about run, dick, run, see, spot, run was the start of mentality creating our enslaved journey after slavery. Facts. Let me see what Miss Odie said. They keep us in slavery mentality displaying our creativity, and they take our ideas and monetize off of it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Going back to LeVar Ball, they didn't want him to do his shoe. Look why Kanye fell out with Adidas. Mm-hmm. Look at what Puff Daddy fires with the I can't say it, Diageo about the liquor. You know what I'm saying? The spirit when he was, and then look how they brought out all his business. This is the stuff that they'd do because he called them racist when he, you know what I'm saying, and they got mad. But when you dealing with people who got money and power, they can break you. Why you think Terry Crews ain't saying nothing strong black man? Let me tell you something. If you would have somebody grab me, you touch me inappropriate, we scrapping. If and the buts, I'll just be out of a job. I'll tell them what we got, baby. We got to go back to Flint. I know you love it out here, but see that's the type of scrutiny that you have to do. He had to take that because he didn't want to not miss no job opportunities. You say the wrong thing, but look who control Hollywood. Look at Tyler Perry. Look how they coming after him now. You know what I'm saying? You don't think these people already know what type of sexual fetishes these people got?
Nope.
We don't know that. Like you hear about the Hollywood parties. When you know what I'm saying, the director's couch. You all this stuff be coming out. Then you hearing about, you know what I'm saying? But this stuff they've been doing, but when you cross them, oh, they'll make your life miserable. They take you out where you can't make no money. Just look why CDs came in. You know why they took CDs out and brought in streaming?
No.
Because they couldn't track the money hard copy because you had a hard copy of CD. Remember, CDs was costing $20-some. So if you take that away, how can you track it on using streaming services? It was just another way they were stopping these young boys from getting money. That's why you think they ain't want them to have a distribution company. Because you cutting them out their money. How can I cut you out what we making? You seeing all these Apple getting in. Just look at the boxing game. Look at all the people getting in. They letting it's just funny when you sit back and see how the game is, but we'll pay you a little more money. You have rappers be having to audit these companies to see, like 50 Cent did when he left Interscope Record.
Yeah.
On his way leaving, he had to audit Jimmy Iovine and them because they shorted him 20-some million. Like, these is the games that they play. But don't nobody see nothing like, but we can't see it on that level. You had like, you know, and I understand what Dame say when he calling them culture vultures. I get it. You know, we're going to stay consumers, huh?
It's just crazy. You
Yeah,
still can see me, right?
huh? Yeah, you ain't went
Okay.
nowhere.
No, because I put my screen up because I was looking for this
No,
video,
no,
what
yeah.
we're
No,
talking about.
it's still going to show you.
Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't, you know, like, because I'm learning. I'm learning.
It's easy. It's easy. It's just when you do the share screen. No, that's what I was trying to like. It's just even with our school systems, man. It's just diabolical when you see people that look like us that's doing it, but it's nothing new. That who you think they used against us on the plantation? You had the house Negro, the field Negro. House Negro told, "We sick, boss," and that's what and you know. And I don't be want to be harsh like that, but when I be seeing, you know, these politicians come down, when I see these people running, these elected officials running to them and
Oh
stuff from
yeah,
here, I'll be like, "We sick, boss." That be coming in my mind when I be seeing them. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. When I seen the superintendent, oh, he was smiling when the governor came to show the school, the classroom they want to show the two new schools they built. I was just like, "We sick, boss." You ain't say nothing about the water not being fixed.
that is crazy.
I mean, this ain't come up. You know, this the type of shit that ain't gonna come up in it. You know, this didn't come up for him. When you got the governor here, you ain't gonna mention that this what the people got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? That just slips his mind, and that's what come to me, and it be like, "We sick, boss." It's just how I do when I see him. Oh, I can't wait till election time when all these people running, when they be coming down here, they finna be doing line dancing, and where them fans at? Oh, it's finna be so much of that music finna be playing in 26. I'm probably gonna sit out this one.
Tuh.
I'm sitting. They finna have them at all the churches. Watch all these churches finna open their arms up for these people to come into and ain't got the water, the infrastructure fixed in Flint. Damn sure not on the north side. As you see, that was third ward. That's finna be
Nikki,
first
that's the
ward in
same problem
26.
here. I get so mad every time we voted it. We voted the same Congress lady, and I said, okay, she's not going to pass the torch. Come on now. She's 88 years old. It comes to a point where we have too many people that are over the age of 75. And I give 75 because it comes to a point. Well, then again, Mickey, we're in a time where 70-year-olds can't even retire. So they're leaving this earth once they stop working. We're starting to see a lot of that because they have these big houses, taxes. They bought their houses a long time ago. It's only them in the house. They can't keep it up. They need help with the roofing. They need help with their house. Period. They don't have the monies to pay for it. But when you think about what is about to hit us right now, money wise, how do you say this? How do we get to a place where we allow someone to stay in office because of respect of our church and not the growth of the community? And so our churches play a big part on teaching you who to vote for. And I am a fan of separation of the church with the government. I'm not a big fan of church being involved in it. And I do know that churches do get grants and stuff, to do their programs. And I understand that. But it comes to a time when we have to remove the church from who we vote for, because we have people that have been sitting in positions who literally, when they get in front of that camera, they have legislative aides writing the work for them. It's not even their words.
Not to cut you off, I don't know how this mayor can come. All right, Kawana Mac, you be saved. How can you vote for something like this and you see that water? That's why I put the picture up. When you ask how these people keep voting for this, this is what I'm saying. How can you vote for somebody that's not fighting for this? And that's why I'm wondering where the third ward councilwoman at. This is her ward right here. It's gonna be in the first ward, but like it's third ward right now. Why you not fighting for this? Why you just getting up there? Yes, 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 yes. But this water right here, that's what I'm saying. I don't believe people voted for it because it was a write-in. Them absentee ballots running for it. That's just my personal opinion. It's the setup. This is why the clerk office, you got Davina not doing nothing, because long as you keep these people in, that's how they're gonna keep treating y'all.
Yep.
Long as you keep people
And
like Davina them in there and the mayor, we're gonna keep getting treated like this.
Mickey, I feel the house of God should be the place where we seek refuge, where we go to have a peace of mind, to be able to call on our brethren and really have a real conversation of what we went through. But it should not be a place where we're told on who our leaders are. And it's gotten to the point where we mix too much. And we're resilient. We're resilient people. We're amazing people. We're very creative. And we know that there's a lot of talent in the church. And so the things that they play on, I feel the enemy. And when I talk about the enemy could be anything. It's not a race. It's not a person. The enemy could be anything that is put out here to divide us. And we have to get to a point to educate ourselves before we make any decision on keeping anyone in position. Because when you look at that water coming out of there is no excuse. I don't care how long you've been sitting in office. I don't care if you're the mayor. If you can have an image like that come out in your community and you're not on the paper or even at the council or even putting a community bulletin out for the community to say it is Harding that we saw what's going on. We're working on it. Nothing. That is where we're getting to. Even in DC, sometimes my mayor does not give guidance, does not speak when something happens right away. And so what's going on, the people are looking to each other. But in my opinion, Mickey, church is not the place to go to for the political world. It is for us to really search and to really find where the money is. And I think when we find where the money started from, we would start to see who is paid for, bought for, and who has sold us some crap.
Shit, all of them. If you want to know the truth, all of them. I mean, I agree with you, but it's big business now. When money came in, it's big business. When you can go to a church, because this is how it always been. It ain't like this is nothing new. This is how it always been. They went to the black church. You know what I'm saying? That, to me, that's what I feel like the Democrats played on, really, because the Democrats can't get elected without having the minority vote.
Yep.
Because majority of the majority whites are Republican. I mean, I ain't gonna say what 50-40. Is it like 50-40? But I know the Democrats have to go get the minority vote to get them across the finish line.
Oh my God, Mickey, that's what I was trying. Remember when I said I had a senior moment? Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I was talking about. So what I was saying was it's set up by design. Why would so if you have all the same group of people, right, and they all have like this one thing that they want to push, and so this is I'm talking about a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And so would it make sense for all of us to go on the right side, or would it make sense for us to split? And so I believe what we have in the Democrat side and the Republican side are the same people that want the same exact things, which is preservation. They just sit on different ends of the spectrum. But when it comes to preservation, they will sell out whoever they got to sell out to make sure that they keep going.
I agree with that.
Some of them, I feel this is what's going on. And so what we're starting to see is like, I mean, when you look at the big, beautiful bill, how many Dems went over to the Republican side? How many people run on a Democratic Party and they don't even believe half the crap that the Dems are even running for? Because the one thing I can say, and it's unfortunate, why is it the Republicans, even when they do not agree with each other, they don't let it out? They could have all different views. They have children that are transgender. They're huge on religious rights. Some of them pro-life, some of them are pro-choice, but they would never let you know their true stance. They're sticking with each other. And this is what I call the Trump party, not the Republican, the Trumpican party. And they're sticking together, right? You see, none of them have broken apart. All he's doing is attacking the ones that was with him before, who decided to say, I don't want to be with you, like James Comey. Now you want to go after James Comey. Come on now. And we do attack and say, well, he wasn't with us before. Reality is just to show you that if you leave, you will be attacked. And so they're real close. But on them side, what's going on is that they can't wrap themselves on one accord. I mean, when I see, and it's unfortunate because I know I'm not voting red. I'm sorry. I can't, Mickey. 2026, y'all got to get out there. I'm not voting red and no time soon. But if you see the Dem side, you got all these different senators and Congress, all different thoughts. Some are progressive, some are liberal, some are what they say socialism. They're all on different spectrums. And I wish we would not have what's the guy from New York?
Mandani.
No, the senator. The one Chuck Schumer. Yeah, Chuck Schumer was the last time when they wanted to do the shutdown. He was like, he went on to the right right side. But if you look why we were telling him to shut it down. The Dems were saying shut it down because what happened? Chuck Schumer went against the group and went on the right side. Not the right side, but you know what I'm talking, the Republican side, because I hate calling them the right side because they're not. At this point, they're not. And he allowed them to pass that horrible bill. Then now, because nothing really is at threat except some premiums going up. Because you see, they're not picking at any other subjects. They just said, you done took a lot of our people to be able to get access to Medicaid and Medicare. Now you about to hit our middle class. Can you give us a break? Can you negotiate with us? And so this is what's going on. The Chuck Schumers and the Jeffries, all they do is this when they talk, right? The whole bunch of hand moving. It ain't saying nothing. When they should have stood up was when that big, beautiful bullcrap bill. That's when they should have went toe to toe. And that's why I feel that both parties ain't nothing but half of them on the right and half of them on the left, because you can't all be on one side. So when they talk about, the Republicans switch, remember they were the party for Lincoln and they were the party for this. They ain't nothing but the same people in the same bed.
Facts. And that's what we got to pause it at.
Yep.
To 8 o'clock. Hey, I'll be seeing y'all. I'm going to give you a call, Anna.
Okay.
Give me a second. I'm just going to leave this with the people. This is what your water look like in Flint. And we out, family. Peace. This is the water. This is diabolical.